Hello and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. On behalf of OTC Markets, we are very pleased you have joined us for our quarterly Small Cap Growth Conference. Our next presentation of the day is from Dotz Nano. Please note you may submit questions for the presenter in the box to the left of the slides. You can also view a company's availability for a one-on-one meeting by clicking Book a Meeting in the top toolbar. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome Sharon Malka, Chief Executive Officer of Dotz Nano, which trades on the OTCQB venture market under the symbol DTZNY and on the ASX under the symbol DTZ. Welcome back, Sharon.
Thank you very much. Good day, everyone. And it's my pleasure to joining today for the OTC Small Cap Growth Conference. My name is Sharon Malka, the CEO of Dotz Nano, a technology leader specializing in advanced material science and nanotechnology. And I would like to start with an overview of the company. In a nutshell, we are delivering transformative, high-performance material for sustainable future. What we do is actually tackling some of the toughest industrial and climate challenges by combining deep expertise in material science with real-world solutions. Our primary focus is our next-generation sorbent material for carbon capture, which means both for direct air capture and point source application. And this will be the core of this presentation. I would like to start with a quick introduction of Dotz Air technology and the problem it is solving. The world's most urgent climate challenge today is the efficient and affordable scaling of carbon removal to a gigaton scale. This challenge generates a growing global demand for high-performance sorbent material to overcome the current insufficient and hard-to-scale sorbent materials. By the way, sorbents are the materials that capture and hold the CO2, the carbon, like a sponge, and they sit at the heart of every carbon system. We've developed a breakthrough platform of solid sorbent that significantly outperforms today available commercial option and improves both performance and efficiency. Our next generation sorbents material are engineered to deliver carbon removal that is not only scalable, but also commercially viable. And that is why we've seen strong interest and early traction from industry leaders. Now, I would like us to dive in and understand what is the industry challenge and the market opportunity we see ahead of us. Solid sorbent-based technologies are currently the most mature and widely adopted carbon removal solution worldwide. But the main problem is that these systems, these technologies, are dominated by commercial sorbents that are inefficient, degrade quickly, and require highly energy input, which makes it almost impossible to scale. To break through this barrier, the world needs innovation in solid sorbents, which are the key to drive the cost of capture down and reducing the cost of capture. This global challenge has created a surging demand for high-performance sorbent material, and this demand for solid sorbent, given the current expected carbon capture capacity in the next few years, the next couple of years, is estimated at over $1.5 billion just for solid sorbent materials. And that's where Dotz comes in. Dotz is uniquely positioned to meet a massive, rapidly growing market need. We've developed a platform of solid sorbent that's specifically designed to address the industry bottleneck of cost, efficiency, and scalability. Our next generation sorbent demonstrated exceptional working capacity, and very high and long stability. This technology platform is built on our proprietary material science, and it is backed by strong IP and patent protection. Our ultra-efficient sorbent material outperforms every commercial alternative we've tested, delivering higher CO2 capture efficiency, significantly lower energy consumption, and superior thermal and oxidative stability, which means they perform better but also last longer. Our sorbent performance have been validated by dozens of industry users, confirming that we are not just better, but actually we are delivering the best-in-class performance. It was tested on a benchtop testing lab in labs at a gram scale, and as we speak today, it is now being tested on a kilogram scale pilot units. This will be followed by industrial demonstration thereafter. And in order to address this or to support the journey of our partners and our customers, we completed recently a kilogram scale production scale-up successfully, enabling to address the short-term demand for this demonstration. And we are working together with the leading CMO's contract manufacturing organization in Europe to manufacture at scale our sorbents in order to meet the market demand in the coming years. And this production strategy is allowing us to scale quickly without requiring massive investment in infrastructure. And now I would like to talk about business. We developed our first generation and we characterized this sorbent family's material. More importantly, we get the industry validation and we get the user validation after testing it by their own facility on their own rigs. And now it is time to capitalize the strong industry traction that we see and we experienced in the last few months. We are working on several strategic partnerships with multiple targets along the carbon capture supply chain. We are actively engaged with over dozens of potential customers and partners, including DAC companies, industrial emitters, sorbent providers, and of course, equipment providers in order to join forces and provide a better solution to the industry. When we look at our go-to-market strategy, it starts with initial focus on early evaluation by partners and customers. And we're already seeing, after a massive sampling program that we conducted in the last 3-4 months, we've already seen strong pull from the industry leaders, generating initial revenues through customer evaluation and testing, which actually provide us the great signal for market readiness to utilize and use this sorbent in the market. And we expect it to be converted into collaboration agreements and supply orders for piloting and demonstration in the coming year. When we look at our growth model, it is built primarily around converting this early traction and early customers into strategic partnerships, including paid-in programs with performance-based milestones, co-development agreement, and eventually long-term supply contracts and licensing agreements. We are demonstrating strong early traction and validation with industry leaders, and we have sustainable growth path forward, which we are now pursuing and allocate a lot of resources towards this end. We are engaged with over a dozen of partners, including leading DAC companies worldwide, with successful lab-scale testing already completed by more than a dozen of these firms. and this momentum is accelerating. We've signed an MOU with Carbon Capture Inc. from the US for a kilogram scale evaluation, and most notably, we secured our first commercial order from a leading global automotive manufacturer for performance of demonstration and testing. And these early partnerships are central to our go-to-market strategy, allowing us to work hand-to-hand with the industry leaders to deploy our sorbent materials in the industry. We expect users to begin deploying our sorbent material, in pilot project starting next year, paving the way for broader adoption through a multi-year commercial agreements starting in 27 and beyond. To conclude my presentation, let me leave you with that. With a breakthrough platform technology supported by a strong IP and independent validation and early customer traction, we are perfectly positioned to capture leading share of this growing global sorbent market. And with that, I concluded my presentation, and I would like to share some of the questions that I received during my presentation. The first question that we got: could you explain your core technology, value proposition, and the problem it addressed? So, as mentioned before, I want to recap this again and emphasize that the key challenge we are addressing is the urgent need to scale carbon removal at scale, affordably and scalably. Right now, most of the technologies are still too expensive and inefficient and hard to scale. And this is why it takes longer than everyone expected. To break through this barrier, the world needs innovation in solid sorbent in order to reduce significantly the cost of capture. And this is where Dotz come to play in our technology, Dotz Earth. There is a growing global demand for high performance, scalable material that like our sorbents in order to deploy at scale and reduce the cost of capture. At Dotz, we developed a breakthrough platform of solid sorbents that significantly outperform today's commercial options and improve both performance and efficiency, enabling a better outcome for every available system and technology out there in the market. And it's not just a solution that's designed to meet the scale of climate challenge and to do it affordably. Another question that I got is, what are the company top priorities over the next 12 to 18 months? So as I said before, we are now trying to pave the way for commercial agreements and commercial collaboration and alliances in the next few years. Our immediate priorities are driven by significant industry interest and are focused on rapid commercialization and scale up. We plan to convert existing evaluation customers into supply orders for pilot deployments, and we're actively pursuing strategic industry alliances necessary to drive sustainable revenue growth in 2026 and beyond. In order to do so, we are moving into production scale-up phase by partnering with leading contract manufacturing organizations to ensure manufacturing capacity at scale and to address our clients' needs both in the short term, 26 and 27, and thereafter in the long term as a mass production. And I think that I covered the questions that I have on my list. And with that, I would like to thank you all, audience, for joining us today for our presentation and enabling you, sharing with you the the compelling story of Dotz Nano. Thank you very much.